Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. This is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Man, today we're going to talk about, the furnace of affliction, man. Understand this. A lot of times when things are good, everybody's happy, everybody's okay. But when things get bad and things get rough, that's when everybody turns their back. Nobody likes having to go through the furnace of affliction. Nobody likes having to deal with, pain and struggles and things like that. But you got to understand this, and the furnace of affliction is your time of growth. The furnace of affliction is what you should be using to become a better person. If you're seeing times and trouble as just another thing that you got to go through life and you don't learn nothing from it, then you are missing the lesson. You're only going through the furnace of affliction to come out better. You're only going through struggles. You're only going through hard times to come back stronger and better. See, this is something that we have to learn. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we don't understand that. During the times of trouble, during the times of adversity, and during the times of hardship, we just start turning our backs to everything. Right. We start shutting down. We start getting real quiet and distance from everybody, when we really should be keeping our head held high and seeing it as something else that I have to go through so that way I can become stronger for the Most High. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 5. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 5. When you have it, Baba Kashar, read for me, please.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Understand this, man. You going through fire, you going through adversity is like gold going through fire. Everybody knows about the purging of gold, right? If you want to get the finest gold, what do you have to first do? Go ahead, brother.
Burn off the impurities.
You got to burn off the impurities. How do you burn off the impurities? You got to put it in a what?
In a fire.
You have to put it
what's the thing? What's the word I'm looking for?
Furnace.
Like a furnace.
Right. You have to put it in a furnace and let the furnace get so hot that it melts gold. It melts the metal all the way down. And at the top, once it melts all the metal, at the very top, it's all the impurities of it. See, understand this. When you're going through adversity, when you're going through that hard time and that struggle, that's the time that you are in that furnace. The Lord is putting you through your trouble to get the impurities out of you. See, the Lord has never called us to be of this world. He placed us in this world, but he didn't want us to become a person that's of this world. That's why he says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If you love the things that's of this world, then the love of the Father is not in you. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we were placed on this earth to show people how to be. We are the blueprint. If we will follow the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments and be the special people that he asked us to be and told us to be, then the world would follow behind us. But we're too busy trying to be like everybody else. We're too busy trying to party and do the drugs and sell drugs and run down on our brothers and our sisters based off of something frivolous. We let the hard times that we go through dictate who we are and what we're going to do, when we should be standing strong with the Most High and his word. Right. His word is given to you for those times. It's not given to you just for those good times. You know, during good times, you know, everybody's happy. Oh, the Lord looked out for me. Oh, you know, thank God, thank the Most High. But when you're going through stuff, hey, man, Lord, I don't know what you got going on. Do you still hear my prayers? Right. Like, what's going on? Like, why me, Lord? Why you don't thank the Lord for your hard times just like how you thank him for your good times? When you're going through a struggle, you should be like, you know what, Lord, I understand whatever I'm going through right now is for the betterment of me. It's going to help mold me to be somebody better. But I guess there's still some things that's in me right now that I gotta deal with. So let me go ahead and step into this furnace so that way I can deal with them. Go to Isaiah 48:10 for me. When we going through the furnace, man, that's when you need to be. That's when you need to step into it. You need to sit here and be like, you know what? I got some stuff I need to deal with. And I'm going to step into this furnace so that way I can deal with it. These hard times that's coming out of nowhere, I'm not going to sit here and question the Lord. I ain't going to question why I'm going through it. I'm going to just stand 10 toes and go through it. Because at the end of the day, matter of fact, Salaki, drop that real quick. Well, actually, hold that. Go to Ecclesiasticus 2:1 real quick. Because the Bible had already warned you what's going to happen. If you really want to serve the Most High God, you got to serve him through the good and the bad. You got to serve him when things is easy and when things get hard. You have to serve him 24/7. You can't pick and choose when you want to be a servant of the Lord. You have to choose the Most High every day. You have to kill the old you every day. That means that you're going to go through struggles. That means that you're going to go through the hard days and the hard times, but you have to keep your head held high. You have to understand and meditate in the scriptures. You have to pray and let the Lord sit here and show you what you're supposed to be doing. Right. You were warned. Go ahead and read once you had that, Baba Kashar.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord,
my people, if you are choosing the Most High over everything else, and you said that I am going to serve the Most High, then what?
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare thy soul for what?
For temptation.
Prepare thy soul for all the good days.
For temptation.
Prepare thy soul for an easy walk in the park.
For temptation.
What is temptation? What is temptation? Anybody can tell me what temptation is? You can just go ahead.
I got the definition of temptation right here.
Go ahead and read it, Baba Kashar.
This is the Google definition for temptation: the desire to do something, especially something wrong or unwise.
Something wrong or unwise. The desire to do something wrong or unwise. So prepare thy soul for temptation. When you decided you're going to serve the Most High, understand that day that you decided that, the Lord heard you, the angels heard you, and what else heard? Go ahead.
The demons heard you also.
The demons heard you also. So understand this. Everything that you felt like you surpassed, become a new creature for the Most High when you came into this truth. Understand all those things is coming back, and they're coming back harder because you just gave your soul to the Most High. By you giving your soul to the Most High, now everything is going to come up. Now you're going to be tempted. Why? Because you are going to have to burn yourself from all those impure thoughts, all those impure things. You're going to have to get in that furnace and let those things burn off of you. That's why they said that once you come into this truth, that is you going through your first death. You have to kill the old you. You have to kill the old person. You have to become a whole new creature. Why? Why do you have to become a whole new creature? Because the old you loved temptation. The old you loved doing the wrong thing. because the wrong thing felt so right. It's so good. But it said, what? Prepare thy soul for what?
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
Keep reading, Baba Kasha.
Verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
And do what?
And constantly endure.
Nah, just deal with it as long as you feel like it, and then after that you can quit.
And constantly endure.
What is it? What does it mean to constantly endure? What does that mean? If you have to constantly endure a situation, what does that mean that you are doing? Anybody? Malakia, you got anything? What does it mean to constantly endure?
It means to constantly go through the pain that you're going through and not give up.
Right.
Not quit.
To continuously fight the good fight. When you're constantly enduring, that means that you are continuously going through it. If your temptation, if something that you like to do in the world, when you was in the world, you know what? You like smoking weed. You are going to be tempted to smoke weed all the time. Why? Because you so used to smoking weed and smelling weed all the time. Now everything smells like weed. You go and you driving past on the road, you drive past a dead skunk. Then what does that dead skunk smell like when you get far away from it? Not when you up close. When you far away from it, then what? What does it smell like? Some people say, "Oh, man, was that must be that weed?" And then you get up closer, you be like, "Oh, no, that's a dead skunk." Or all of a sudden, all your partners, they always come around you and they ready to roll up and ready to smoke. You're gonna be tempted daily because what? Those demons want you to fall back. They want you to not serve the Most High.
Right.
They want you to fail your test. The same thing with alcoholism. If you are an alcoholic, what do you think is going to happen? When you quit drinking, what's going to end up happening? Days going to start getting hard. And when the days start getting hard, what you going to go do? You're going to go look for that alcohol. Because that's been your best friend ever since you was able to drink. And most of y'all was drinking before you was of age to drink. We've all been around uncles and grandparents that slide you a little something that because you keep asking for the bill or you keep asking for what's in their cup, so they give it to you and tell you, stop asking what's in my cup then.
Right.
So now you always want to see what's up in their cup. But now that you're serving the Most High, you cannot be an alcoholic and serve the Lord.
Right.
You can't be a pothead and serve the Lord. You can't be a crack addict and serve the Lord. You can't be a meth head and serve the Lord.
Right.
You cannot be a homosexual, Salakia, a part of the alternative lifestyle and serve the Lord.
Right.
All those things you have to put away. All those things you have to never do again. So that way you can serve the Lord. So understand, when you say that you're going to serve the Most High, prepare thy soul for temptation. Keep reading, Baba Kasha.
Verse 3. Cleave unto him.
Cleave unto who?
Cleave unto him.
Keep going.
And depart not away.
And keep going.
That thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Understand this, man. We have to learn to cleave unto the Most High when we're going through things. When we're going through those hard days and those hard struggles, we have to cleave to the Most High. We have to meditate in the scriptures. We have to sit here and start praying even more. I understand, hey, brother, you a priest. I understand you know the precepts. I understand this. I understand, sister, oh, you go to church and all that. And so that don't mean that you can pray to your father. You asking your father for $1 million every time that you go do the lotto. You asking the Lord to, hey, Lord, if you could help me win this scratch off. If you could help me get this raise. So you only talk to him when you need something. You only talk to him when what? When you want to win? When you want a dub, then all of a sudden you the Lord's best friend when you want a dub. Man, you know my piss dirty as can be. Hey, Lord, if you help me get through this time, I'll never smoke again. And as soon as you get the job, because the Lord looked out for you, then you go right back to smoking. You celebrate by smoking. Bro, you are falling into the temptation daily because you really and truthfully don't know what it is to cleave to the Most High. To cleave to the Most High is to keep your promise and keep your oath. Hold on to the word. You can't sit here and act with the Most High. You can't sit here and think that you're getting over on him. You're not getting over on him. He sees what you're doing. And he's just sitting back shaking his head like, okay. He gave his word and he went back on his word. Like, we have to do better. We have to choose to do better. Choose to stay and cleave to the Most High God. Choose to meditate in his scriptures. Choose to be 10 toes for the Lord like we was 10 toes for the gangs. Choose to be 10 toes for the Most High like we was 10 toes for the hood. Because we was ready to go put in work for the hood. We was ready to go put in work for the gangs. Why don't you put in that same work to better yourself? Why don't you do that same thing to better your communities? It's not just about you, dog. You go through the struggles and the pain and the agony that you go through to be better, not only for yourself, but for everybody that's around you. Understand this, man. A lot of people, if we're gonna talk about temptation, we're gonna talk about the real stuff, then let's talk about it.
Right.
A lot of people don't know what it is to follow the Most High because they're stuck in these churches. Go ahead, bro.
Salak, if I may, sir.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? It something came to me whenever I just read it again. Prepare when you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What we basically doing, we giving up everything that we have been doing our whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Imagine a 30-year-old spirit trying to fight against a 1-year-old flesh. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like coming in here, we choosing to live life on all Madden. I don't know if y'all play football games, it's 2K, you know what I'm saying? We on high mode. You feel me? Before then, we was playing on rookie mode, but now it's gonna be a whole lot more temptation. You know what I'm saying? When you come to serve the Most High God, you feel me?
Right.
It's not gonna be an easy walk.
Right.
You feel me? Because at every turn, it's gonna be demons in your head that have your voice that are trying to tempt you.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, get that brother a hand, man. What you said is spot on, huh? You was the same way for almost 30 years, and then you decided, you know what? I'm gonna stop doing everything that I was raised to do, I was trained to do, that I decided to do to serve the Most High God. So now everything coming back. But that's why you got to learn how to cleave to the Most High. That's why you have to meditate in them scriptures, because them scriptures is what's going to keep you sane. Like when you're going through some hard times, bro, them scriptures will keep you sane, man. The scriptures will let you know, hey, brother, I know you're going through this, but look, the Lord's with you. You know, I don't understand this, man. I'm going through the hardest time of my life. Understand this, man. Christ went through some stuff as well. Are you telling me your pains and your struggle is worse than Christ having to bear your sins on the cross? Having to sit here and be hung for you? So you telling me that everything that you going through is way worse than anything that your ancestors had to go through? That them priests and the disciples had to go through with Christ? And then once Christ was gone, what they went through afterwards. So you telling me your pain and your struggle and your agony that you're going through right now is worse than them 7 brothers that died because they didn't want to eat pork in front of their mother, and the mother having to watch her sons get killed? Oh, Salakia, unalived? Understand this, man. You got to prepare your soul for temptation. You got to prepare yourself to deal with the hard things and the hard times and the struggles when you decide you're going to serve the Lord, man.
Right.
Go to 1 Peter 1:7 for me. 1 Peter 1:7. Go ahead.
Okay, this is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, verse 7. That the trial of your faith be much more precious than gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahweh.
Understand this, man. Your faith is going to be tried. But let the time that your faith is tried, let you stand 10 toes for the Most High, man.
Right.
Let you go through it with a cheerful spirit, because you know that it's not going to last forever. But what I am going to do is I'm going to serve the Lord even though I'm going through this hard time.
Right.
Because it's just like it said, man. It says, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ. Again, everything that you're doing, bro, everything that we're doing right here is about endurance. Through the time of your tests and your trials, you have to endure. You have to train yourself. It's just like if you're trying to do cardio. Why are you doing cardio? Why are you trying to run 3 miles a day or 3 miles every 3 days or 2 days? Because you're building up your endurance, right? That's your physical health. Your spiritual endurance get built up when? When does your spiritual endurance get built up? It gets built up through adversity. Right. It gets built up through the times that are hard, the struggle. When stuff pop up out of nowhere that you're not used to dealing with, that's when you're getting your spiritual training going on. That's when you're spiritually working on your endurance. Because the only thing we can do right now is hold on. Hold on to this word. Hold on to this truth. And endure it to the end. And tell our people to do as such. So that way, the Most High gets the glory. And not only does he get the glory, but we can get the hell out this hell because we save our people from the hardship that they've been going through all their life. We have to be that change, man. We have to stand for something. We have to stand with the Most High, even though times get hard. Let's go to Hebrews 12:6 for a moment. Let's go to Hebrews 12:6. Because understand this, man. Your father is seeing you. And your father will put you through stuff.
Right.
But why is he putting you through it? That's the question you got to understand. Not only why is he putting you through it, but also understand this. With you having a father, your father loves you enough to deal with you when you're deciding to go against him as well. But he's not doing it because he hates you. He's doing it because he loves you enough to correct you and make you be somebody that you're supposed to be through the hard times, through the struggle, through the pain. Go ahead and read, Baba Kashar.
Come. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
Who the Lord loves, he also does what?
For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth.
What does chastenance mean? Go ahead.
So like, sir, discipline.
Who the Lord loves, he also disciplines. Who the Lord loves, he also corrects. Why do you think the Lord decides, because I love you, I'm going to also correct you? The Lord does that because if he doesn't correct you, then you'll just be like, what? Your oppressor. Your oppressor don't get corrected by the Lord. You can see that they don't get corrected by the Most High. Look what they do. They done sexually abused our people. They done unalived our people. They done changed the laws. They done made it to the where you can't even really and truthfully, you can't even really get health care really and truth. They make life hard for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They're deporting our brothers and sisters as we speak, but they letting these Moabites stay here. Go ahead, brother.
Salaki, if I may, I'm gonna go back to one thing that you said. And whenever we do get approved for healthcare, you know what I'm saying, 9 times out of 10, it comes with some form of abuse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For instance, you know what I'm saying, our women have the highest death at birthing. You know what I'm saying? They have the highest death rates.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they are being mishandled by these practitioners.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just thought I'd bring that out real quick.
Nah, brother. Hey, keep doing what you're doing.
It's like every time they do give a hand, it harms us in the end.
Why do you think it harms us in the end? Because at the end of the day, what? They don't care about you.
Right.
They don't receive any punishment for the things that they do.
Right.
When they mistreat us, what happens? Nothing. Because their laws and their judgment, it hasn't came from the Lord yet. But understand this, in the end days, they're going to deal with everything that they've done to our people.
Right.
A double portion, brother. Double. But for you, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, when you do something wrong, you get dealt with. Like, it seems like it's like that. It seems like I do something wrong, then all of a sudden, boom, there go punishment right there at the door waiting on me. Because the Lord wanted something better for you.
Right.
The Lord chose you to be a special people unto himself. He didn't want you to be like everybody else. If he wanted you to be like everybody else, he would have just made everybody equal. But we're not equal. You can look at sports and tell that we're not equal.
Right.
They don't want us to do nothing. If Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do anything, I'm talking about when it comes down to boxing, basketball, football, soccer, when it comes down to even hockey, golf, when it comes down to track, when it comes down to, we could talk about making wine, making liquor. We could talk about creating things. We can talk about, even when it comes down to debates, they cannot beat us in anything. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we rule everything. Right. When we put our hands on it and we are focused in on it, we are great at everything.
Right.
The only thing we're not great at is serving the Lord. That's the craziest part. The only thing Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is not great at doing is serving your God. Not the God that they keep feeding you, not white Jesus, your God. Black Jesus. Yahweh. Understand this, man. We have to come back. That's why we keep dealing with all these things. That's why we keep getting punished. Because the Lord loves us so much that even though he's seeing us do it, he has to punish us. Because if he didn't punish us, then we would be just like our oppressor. Keep reading.
Verse 7. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons.
If you deal with, see, it's just like a father disciplining his child when his child to disobey him. The father called child in, I told you not to do this. How many times did I tell you, if you went and did this after I told you not to, that I was going to give you a whooping? Well, you know what? I'm done talking. Come here. The Lord whooping us. And he's like, you know what? If you take this whooping and you change, then we can be a family. I know that you are my child, because not only are you dealing with the consequences of your action, you're still doing what you're supposed to do, not what you feel like doing, which is against what I'm telling you to. Go ahead, brother.
And if I could, sir, the oppressor is nothing but a belt. You know what I'm saying? The Lord had to put the most disgusting, abominable people over us to make us change.
Right. And you want to know the craziest thing about what you just said, brother? The oppressor is the belt, right? And they will put against us to make us change. But instead of doing what we should do, getting dealt with them and changing and being better, we're trying to join them. We at the point now that, you know what, I just want to keep getting whooped. Keep bringing the belt to me. But then when that belt gets a little bit harder, now it ain't a belt no more. Now it's that extension cord. Like the Lord looking at you like, all right, I done already, okay, we done went from pops on the hand, now we done went to the belt. Now we done went to the belt, now, and you still don't care? Right. Extension cord. Now, that extension cord a little bit something different. Now all of a sudden, bro, we have to stop joining our oppressors. We have to listen to what the Most High is telling us. If what you doing, bro, like, I've never understood this. If you are a drug dealer and you got caught with weight and you ended up not having to do football numbers behind that weight, the Lord slapped you on your wrist. Like, you, instead of doing 20, you only had to do 5. And then you got off, you had about 5 years of probation or something like that. Bro, why would you go right back into selling drugs again? You felt like, oh, okay, I got a slap on the wrist this time. It was something slight. I did my time. Now I'm right back to it. The Lord just sat here and told you, bro, I don't want you selling drugs. I don't want you dealing with that.
Right.
That's just like you sitting here, if you are a drug addict, right? And you OD. But in the midst of you ODing, they hit you with that Narcan. And you live. Why would you go right back into doing drugs again? Your life was saved. But you go right back into doing the same thing that got you in the point where you almost lost your life. And that's what we do, Blacks, Hispanics, and Indians. We are playing with the Most High. We are playing with our Father, like our Father's not telling us, hey, every time you do something against me, I am going to discipline you. We wait till it's almost death to want to change. Go ahead.
If I may, that's the whole base of Christianity. It's thinking the only time you have to repent and ask for forgiveness is on your deathbed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Christians literally think the only time they will ever achieve peace is by dying.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. The only way I can achieve peace is if I die. That's what we've been taught. That's what we've been trained. That's what's programmed in our head, that we'll get peace when we dead. When peace is right here in these scriptures. Peace is right here in the truth. I got a peace of mind knowing that if I'm in this school and my kids is running around, I know for a fact my kids are not going to be mistreated.
Right.
In the I.S.U.P.K, in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, I have peace. I have peace knowing that my wife is not going to be touched by another man in the school.
That's right.
I have peace knowing that I don't have to worry about my children running around. My children is not going to be touched or hurt or harmed by any brother or sister or any other kid in this school.
Right.
That's peace. That's true peace, knowing that. I don't have to die. I don't have to be on my deathbed to find that type of peace, man. That type of peace is right here in the school.
Right.
In the I.S.U.P.K, that type of peace is here.
Right.
Knowing the law, statutes, and commandments, following them, coming around like-minded people, that's the peace. You don't have to worry about the Most High chastening you when you are doing what he's asking you to do. Go ahead, brother.
If I could, sir, you know what I'm saying? Because you're laying it down heavy. What that man said is clear evidence that Christianity, that the Christian church does not abide by these scriptures. The spirit of the Lord is not in there because there's no brotherhood.
It's definitely not no brotherhood in that church. Right. Man, do you know how many times there's a messy person in that church? Sister Jenkins done known that Deacon Floyd is messing with Sister Shakita. You know, hey man, Deacon Johnson been taking money out the treasure box every time he went to go count the money when he was taking the tithes into the storehouse, supposedly. Right. The pastor's house burned down, but the building fund doesn't increase. Now we need to sow a $10,000 blessing. Anybody got a $10,000 blessing? Where's the brotherhood in the Christian church? There is none, because it's all about self. And that's what they've taught y'all to be. They taught y'all to be selfish. But we know when you came into this truth, you had to do what? You had to renew your mindset. You had to be washed away from that old mindset. You had to kill that old person and become a new creature. And you had to leave your selfish ways behind to become somebody selfless. Keep reading, brother, if you could, Bible Kashar.
God, sir. Verse 8. Yeah, verse 8. Mm-hmm. But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons.
If you are not, it says right here, so if you are not a partaker of the chastening, so if you're not sitting here dealing with the consequences of your own actions, then what are you? You are a bastard. That's what your oppressor is. Your oppressor is a bastard, and he knows it. He lives in it. He dwells in it. But he also wants you to become just like him. He wants you to be a bastard just like he is. So that way he's not by himself when the day of reckoning comes. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 9, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
So are you going to not deal with it? Are you not going to give reverence to your fathers that dealt with you, that chastened you? Are you just going to be a bastard? You're just going to be somebody that's lawless? Or are you going to be somebody that's going to deal with what you have to deal with? Go ahead and go ahead. You have something you need to say?
Yeah, sir. You know what I'm saying? We all have earthly fathers, you know what I'm saying? And me quite myself, I feared my father. Mm-hmm. I had the utmost respect for my father. You know what I'm saying? But what about the father that could choose whether you live or you die? You know what I'm saying? What about the Father of spirits? What about the Most High God who has all power?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Is he not a terrible power to be feared?
Right.
So now why not be in subjection to somebody who can destroy you, both physically and spiritually?
See, brother, what you said, as soon as you said it, brother, the precept came to my mind where it says, fear not him that kills the body, but fear him that can kill your body and soul.
Right.
Like that right there, brother, like why you should fear your father the same way you feel your father on earth, you should feel your heavenly father. I feel the Most High more than I felt fear my father on earth.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, man, I do not. I'd rather have a crown than not have a crown. I do not want the Most High to come back on earth. I don't want Christ to crack open the sky and come down here and they say, bring him before me, kneel him down and slay him. Bro, do you not understand that? Bro, that judgment day, I don't want that type of judgment. I'd rather deal with the consequences that I need to right now. So that way, when my father come back, he gives me a crown. And he tells me, you know what? Go and get them. Go get those people that harmed your brothers and your sisters and bring them before me. I want to go be a hunter for the Lord. I wanted the Lord to make me one of his hunters to go get them and bring them before him. I don't want to be the person that gets hunted. That's why we have to change, man. That's why we have to deal with this stuff. You had something you needed to say?
Oh yeah, Con. So I had that preset for you.
Oh, we good. We don't need that preset.
Yeah, Con, sir.
Go to James chapter 1. Go to James 1 and 2. We got to understand this, man. We are going to go through hard times. But the Bible tells you how to deal with those hard times. When you're going through adversity, when you're going through the hard steps, when you're going through the pain, this is what the Bible says.
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations.
Keep going.
Verse 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
Understand this, man. When you're going through those hard times, count it with all joy, man. Don't see it as it's just the worst thing and life is over and I can't deal with this no more. I don't want to be here no more. Don't do that. When you're going through those hard times, count it as joy. Because right now the Lord is working on your patience. Right now, he is breaking you down to build you up stronger. He is putting that fire on you to burn some impure things that's on you. Because he's molding you. He's molding you unto the person that he wants. Now, people know, like, I don't know about y'all, but I watch Forge in the Fire. Forge in the Fire is a show that deals with making knives out of all type of metal. When you watch that show, Forge in the Fire, man, it shows you that it doesn't matter what it is, it can turn into a beautiful thing at the end of the day. Right. Like, one of my favorite things is to see somebody make a Damascus blade. If you know, making a Damascus blade means that you're taking all kind of metals and you're putting it in a canister. Like, you have to chop up different metals, like even if it's like fish hooks, nails, chain, saw blades, razor blades, and leaf springs. And you putting it all in a canister. And then you putting the powder, the metal powder in there and welding it all together. And then they put it in the furnace and they let that metal and all that furnace get real hot to the point where it's red, to the point where it's burning up. And then they start molding it. And once they start molding it, it's starting to stretch out and become a solid piece of metal. From all these different things, all these different pieces, now it's becoming something solid. See, y'all got to understand this. This is the same thing like with the Most High. The Most High is using all you different people, all you different 12 tribes of Israel, all the brothers and sisters in the school, and all the different traumas and all the different pains that you went through. He's putting you all together to mold you into something, what? Beautiful. But you can't sit here and in that time of you being molded into something beautiful and strong, you can't sit here and start falling apart. You can't sit here and start falling away from what he's doing, because you'll never get to that point. You have to stay in it. The Lord is working on you when you're going through those times.
Right.
Keep reading.
Verse 5.
Should be verse 4.
Salakia. Verse 4. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be made perfect and entire, wanting nothing.
Understand this, man. Everything that you're going through is to help you get to a certain place. We all want better for ourselves. You should want better for yourself. But how do you get better? You have to go through stuff. It's just like being in school. How do you get your degree? You got to go through what? Classes, studying, homework, going through the hard times when you got to do midterms. And then when you have finals, having to study for your finals. But why are you doing it? You're doing it for what? To graduate, to get your degree. That's the same thing you got to do for the Most High. You got to go through the pain, go through the struggle. You got to go through the hard times. So that way, when you come out of it, what are you? You are the priest that the Most High wanted. You are the princess that the Most High knew that you could be. You have to go through the hardship to become something better, to become something new. If you are a father and you pray all the time to become a better father, then what do you think is going to happen to you? The Lord is going to put you through tests and trials to work on your patience. He's going to work on you to make sure that what? You don't do the same thing that sat here and traumatized, that you were traumatized with. Right. If you dealt with being abused when you was a child, you know for a fact that that's something that you're going to fight daily. You still got that in your mind, that, you know, that abuse that you dealt with. But what do you have to do every single day? You have to make sure that you don't bring that same abuse that you had to deal with to your children.
Right.
Go ahead.
If I could, sir, I believe they call it breaking generational curses.
That's exactly what it's called.
Right. If I may, sir, that's exactly what we are doing in the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
And here, following these laws, statutes, and commandments will break generational curses.
Exactly. But you have to choose to do it. Nobody's going to force you to break generational curses.
Right.
Like the Lord is not going to force you to follow him. That's why if the Lord forced us to follow him, then we would have been out of hell already.
Right.
But that's not the God, that's not the Most High that we deal with. The Most High is like, I'm going to give you these things. I'm going to give you this blueprint. If you decide to live through this blueprint, Most High in Christ, you'll live. If you decide you don't want to deal with that and you don't want to do it, then when judgment day comes, you'll die. The choice is yours. Because broad is the way of what? Destruction. But that narrow path, that narrow way leads to what? That's your salvation. That's your peace. You have to choose what you want to do. You have to choose that, am I going to stand through adversity or am I going to fall to temptations? That's what we have to worry about doing. That's what we have to sit here and deal with on a regular. We have to choose between those two things. So understand this, man. When you are going through adversity and you are dealing with those temptations, man, deal with it. Go through it. Count it with all joy. Because at the end of the day, the Most High God is putting through it to make you something better every day.
Right.
And why is he doing that? Because he wants you to be something for him. Go to Matthew 5 and 16 for me. This is why he's doing everything that he's doing. Go ahead.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light shine before men.
Why is the Lord putting you through all this?
Let your light shine before men.
The Most High is putting you through all these tests and trials. You're dealing with all these different demons, all these different temptations. So that way, when you make it out of it, you can help others get out of it. Which in the same instance is what? Letting your light shine. We have to go through the struggle and the pain, breaking the generational curses that we've went through. So that way we can help others do the same, so we can let our light shine. Keep reading.
So, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
We are here in the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA to let our light shine. We went through hell and high waters to change our life, to become something new, to become a new creature. So that way we can go back into our hoods. We can go back into our communities and let our light shine. We can let the people that we knew and the people that said that they knew us know the new you. Let your light shine before men. Let your light shine before your parents that always knew you as Lil John that used to eat pork. Now, instead of Lil John, now you a priest and prophet of the Most High God. You don't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, and you telling your parents, hey, this is not the way that we should be living. Let your light shine, man. We don't go through all these struggles. We don't go through all this pain to put our light under a bushel. We're going through everything that we're going through to become a stronger person, to let our light shine. Go to Luke 1 and 79.
Come. This is the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 79. To give light to them that sit in darkness and in the shadow of death.
Understand this, man. Everything that you're going through is so that way you could do this. That's why we're going through the struggles that we're going through. We're going through all this so that way we can let our light shine. It says, and give light to them that sit in darkness and in the shadows of death, man. We're going through all these struggles that we're going through to become a new creature so that way we can help others be great. And then it also says to guide our feet into the way of peace. We have to become that, man. We have to become that new creature. We have to stand 10 toes for the Most High. We got to be that light in a world full of darkness. We're going to go to Matthews 24 and 13, man. This is something that we all need to understand. If you understand this here, if you understand this precept right here, then you'll be all right.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Understand this. Everything that you're going through, everything that has you, sitting here fighting, sitting here going through pain and struggle, sitting here going through adversity to become a better person. It's all here to help you to learn how to endure. We have to learn as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to endure to the end. Follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Don't be a drug addict. Don't be a drug seller. Don't be somebody that's unaliving your people. Don't be an alternative lifestyle member. Listening to these false prophets telling you that it's okay for you to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Learn how to deal with the hard times. Learn how to deal with the struggles and beat them. Because if you learn how to endure to the end, it said what? That you shall be what?
The same shall be saved.
The same shall be saved. You're looking to be saved by the church, but the church can't save you. You're looking to be saved by these false idols. These false idols cannot save you. The only way for you to truly be saved is for you to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. Come into the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA. Learn what it is to truly serve the Most High and stand 10 toes for your people and for the Most High. And you deal with that temptation that you have to deal with. And with that, we're going to stand. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers, then to the sisters. Imagine. Give a courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahal Ba'ashim Yahweh Barakatah. Yagim Matah. Sar, which means the face of sisters. Men of Israel. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shamal Atah Ba'ashim Yahweh. Yagim Matah. Class dismissed.